You're too good of a boy. You're too good of a boy. Too good of a boy. You don't come downstairs enough that you think you're not allowed down there. You're too good to go. Such a good boy. Pay the snoot tax. We'll have to do the armory video without you doing a heckin' inspec. Hey, Mr. Boop. Right. We got everything laid out by the look of her. So let's go through the armory. Turn on all the lighting so you can see all of it in its glory. Let's start in here. The logical place to start, where a couple of my videos have been filmed. First off, we got the Proton Pack, which is attached to a Jupiter. I count this as one blaster because the Proton Pack's basically just a fancy magazine. There ourselves an X-Shot thing. I think it's called, I have no idea what it's actually called. I think that's Hawkeye or something? I don't know. Then ourselves a Mega Mastodon. We've got a Nemesis, a Prometheus. We've got my personal primary, the FDL-2X, which has been modified quite substantially from the pattern where I first received it. For example, the original FDL-2X stock I've replaced with this worker folding buffer tube stock. I've added worker sights, yes, including this ladder thing, because of the proud papa that I've got attached to the side here. This has replaced the Extreme Blast Zuka sub-BZ that Nuke had previously for the same role that fulfills. Except this is more versatile because it can take more ammo types, and I intend to upgrade my glove blasters. Actually, speaking of which, I got my glove blaster in here, and I almost forgot to include it. So this is my Danaware's glove blaster. It's normally not a left-handed glove, but basically it shoots these little rubber 6.5mm pellets, which I don't have in any real numbers, and I intend to get something to replace that eventually. This is my Halo MA40, which is stock in terms of performance, but I have dremeled out the magwell very, very substantially, so now, as you can tell, the magwell is much smoother and much less egregious. This is my Bolter Strife. In terms of performance, it is completely stock. The only things I have done to it is just aesthetics. Eon Pro with my traditional red dot optic, gleefully watched on by Mr. Spoder. This is the Claymore that I burnt out, which I intend to replace with an IR one because the clacker is not exactly a mine, it's just a thing that you can detonate remotely. This is my Ultratech Predator, which I've used in Juggernaut as an attacker, with the addition of a 3D printed hopper that my friend Morgan has graciously designed and printed for me. I appreciate that greatly, Morgan. My Kronos, completely stock. Adventure Force Liberator, completely stock. This is the Hyper, the Captain Slick Hyper that I did a video on, and yes, I did in fact fix the problem I had with it in the shooting through cover video. The problem was this pin came out, and yeah, I had to find the pin, then I had to re-glue that whole thing in there because the pin is always loose, because print tolerances aren't exactly top-notch on a 3D printed thing. This is Der Freischütz, which is my rainbow pistol. Yes, named for the opera by, I think it was Wagner. And this one's gotten Mike Innes in the face once. I think I caught it on video, and I named it after what I named this thing. This is a recent addition to the armory. This is just a stock Busby rapid-fire attack. Yes, I've got the shells, and yes, I've got the darts that it came with. This is just a thrift find. This is my hammer shot, which I gotta work substantially on. There's my Caliburn, which needs some extra parts because part of the plunger tube connecting assembly actually broke off, so I have to replace that eventually, but I mean, it still functions. I just don't want to chance it for too long. That's my Adventure Force Double Fire, which is basically a double shot but better. And yes, I have enhanced it a little bit with dirt and rust effects because, as you can kind of tell on the stuff that I use an awful lot, that's it's kind of an ongoing theme. So here we got my Alpha Trooper, which I've added some foam padding to the stock and a cheek riser onto. This is my blowgun spear, which is also apparently a firearm in Australia if I stick gel balls down there, which I may very well do just as a shitpost one day. This is my Enforce Marauder, which I use against the gremlins quite frequently, and I intend to replace with an epic armory chainsword eventually, but for now, this is one of the most striking and awesome parts of my collection. This is my AK Strife, which has two flavors. If I pull the stock and the barrel off and replace them with the AKS-74U parts, then I have an AKS-74U, but in this current configuration, it's a full-size AKM. This is a knockoff Chinese Desert Eagle thing that I got from the Fall Fair one year, and it also shoots gel balls, so this is also an illegal firearm in Australia, because reasons, I guess. The ubiquitous suicide jolt. This thing is a project that I did, and it doesn't even work properly. It's got a hybrid pusher, it's got Honey Badger motors, running on 2S, and 43.5 millimeter OFP cage. I think worker straight wheels? But essentially, yeah, it's just a basic modified HBZ Strife, but it's got a hybrid pusher that doesn't properly work. So while it is set up and intended to be used with Talon magazines, it can't fire half darts consecutively currently, so I gotta work on it a bit, or replace it with a Nerf Easy pusher with a standard Strife pusher in there instead. Also, I don't have a battery that will actually fit in this battery door and close, so there's that. Other than that, there's just a screwed-in Picatinny rail on the adapter on the normal rail, an airsoft M4 style carry handle sight, a worker folding PDW stock, just some 3D printed parts for some worker handguard that I didn't have access to, hot glued onto an airsoft mil-spec M4 front end. The worker front triangle sight and this emulation of an M4, worker barrel material, and these marks are just for making sure that the headspace is right on it, and a worker flash hider in orange because, you know, it looks kind of weapony and I kind of wanted some orange there. Other stuff we've got our heavy machine gun Vulcan, which I did a video on, which I will probably forget to link. Other stuff we've got an X-Shot Eliminator, we got an old Titan, and we got a Nerf Modulus, a rough cut, which I have modified with a stock attachment point, a retaliator. Yes, I do have all the other parts, don't worry about that. I've got a sledge fire, which Liam absolutely loves when I bring him down here for some reason. We've got my super slimmed down Enforcer, which I've actually modified a little bit with a screw mount. So I can mount this on the tripod instead of the Vulcan, but, you know, it's kind of a stopgap until I can do that. Then there's the actual stock Enforcer that I got for the belt, and I think I got that one for free. This is just a stock regulator. I intend to eventually get a modified regulator because I have plans. You will see them in the future. I have two Infinises, one of which I usually run, and the other one is, you know, just a backup. Rapid Fire 20, I got that very recently at the thrift store, actually. A Magnum Super Drum, a Long Strike that I also got at the thrift store, completely stock. A Busby Brute, which I also got at another thrift store. I do a lot of thrifting, as you can probably tell. That's a Ghost Ops Evader from the Modula series. 2 light commands, one of which doesn't work properly, and the other one does. I mostly got them for the belts, though. That's a Hailfire, which I use as a loner, because 8 magazines means you don't have to have gear. That's a long shot that's got an Orange Modworks kit in it. It's nothing too substantial, and I really don't need it because I have a Caliburn now. Stampede ECS, which I've got to take apart and clean because it does not run properly at all. I've already gone over the other Infinites. This is a Hyperfire. I gave one to the Gremlins because I don't need 2. And this one's been modified with a side rail from my... I don't know what the side rail is from. I think it's from my old Vulcan, actually. We've got the new Titan, which you're going to see in a video soon. That's called foreshadowing, kids. Got the Magnus rifle, minus the barrel again. I mean, you've seen that plenty of times. You've seen it in Brett's video, Show Me the Mods. Got a Praxis that's probably broken. I don't know, I couldn't test it because I don't have Vortex mags and I do not have Vortex discs. And we got some pistols. We got my recolored double strike imitation from the... Thank you very much. From the Mediator. We got ourselves a Tech 4. We've got a Big Shock, which has been modified with a 3D printed rail. This used to be my undermounted option for my FDL until I got the Proton Pack. Barrel Strike, got the Mediator barrel. This is a Tri-Strike. I do have the other attachments for it, but, you know, because I'm a big fan of cursed gun images from Forgotten Weapons and stuff, I added the Lightning Storm AK stock that I used to use for the full-scale AK build. And also, the guy who made the AK stock, he accidentally sent me this, and he was cool with just letting me have this thing that he accidentally sent to me instead of the thing I ordered. And I'm like, you know what? I might as well make a cursed gun meme out of it. So I took the Tri-Strike blaster and just stuck this on it, and in homage to a certain Khyber Pass AK lookalike that's chambered on like 303 or some dumb shit that the Afghan tribesmen made. I don't count that because that doesn't actually work and there's no internals in it, it's just a shell. That's the Next Shot Micro. They come in like every single flavor you can possibly imagine. Fire Strike with 2 or 3 springs in it, and it's got quite the substantial draw on it. Sneaking past the muzzle end of that and trying not to make it fall over. We got the Tri-Strike missile launcher, which I've actually turned into a mortar at times, but, you know, I just have it, because why not? I have a stock demolisher. I got some more pistols over here. Got a strong arm. Got an Ultratech Wizard. Got a Panther. I don't know what gen this is, but it's got the white inner barrel. A stock Maverick. And we don't have any... Thank you. Pennies to actually modify that. Got the Triad, Thunderbow. Of course, we got the mortar, but we don't have rounds for it currently, so can't really put it to much use. I got some other melee weapons and various stuff like that, but you know, that's basically my loadout, apart from that one thing that shoots those weird rockets over there. But, let's pay homage to the deadliest weapon in my arsenal. The Fur Missile. Hey, Mr. Boop. Are you a fierce? Are you a ferocious predator? You are a terror on your battlefield? You are. You're ferocious. You're crazy. You're ferocious and crazy.